Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name's Lizzie and today I have a sew and tell video for you. I also have another little bonus to add onto the end of this video, which is going to be a review of a sewing subscription service, like an online one, so I'll tell you more about that at the end of the video. But first, let me tell you about the 3 things that I've made recently. Now, you'll see very quickly that there's a definite theme going on here. And that is that all 3 of the things that I've made are some kind of high-necked, like long-sleeved jumper type situation. So without further ado, I will tell you about the first one. The first thing that I've made is this here. And this is sort of a little bit of a hack of the true Bias Nikko dress. And the fabric is beautiful. It's this lovely aubergine rib knit. And it was really kind of gifted to me by the lovely Jen from Sew by the Sea. So she has a bricks and mortar fabric shop in Margate, so you might know her from Instagram as Sew by the Sea Margate, but she has a website as well, so you can buy online. And she approached me on Instagram and said, Lizzie, is there any chance you'd like to choose a piece of fabric from the website and, maybe it'll make it into one of your videos? And of course I said yes. So I had a very fun hour or two, it takes me a long time to choose fabric, scrolling through the website, and I chose this. To tell you a little bit more about it, it's £4.25 a half metre. I'm not sure if there's any left on the website, so I'm really sorry if I've been a bit slow getting this video up. But it's 140 centimetres wide, and I'm hoping if I hold it up you can see that it's got this ribbed texture on it. And it's kind of the weight of like a Ponte de Roma, I would say, would be my best sort of description for the weight of this fabric. Thank you ever so much to Jen for gifting me this fabric. I really do recommend that you go and have a look on her website. I love finding new fabric shops because I definitely have my go-to fabric shops that I always go to, like Fabric Godmother is definitely one of my favourites. I always look on their website. I look on Ray Stitch's website. I look on Sew Me Sunshine. I've definitely missed loads there, but it was lovely to find a new fabric shop for me to add to my list of places to browse. And what I did with this, so this is, I'm sure you'll all be familiar with the True Bias Nikko dress, but it's kind of like a loose fitting, straight up and down sort of dress with long sleeves. I mean, you can do a sleeveless version and you can obviously shorten it, but I wanted to make like a midi length version with some slits up the sides. And in the past, I had made the sleeveless version as like a long version in a green stretch fabric, and I'd also done the bodycon hack in a blue stretch velvet. Now the bodycon hack is on the True Bias blog, I believe, and it basically shows you how you can sort of sculpt it in to make it a bodycon stretch dress as opposed to like something a bit more loose. Now I was really lazy and I didn't want to I didn't want to print out a load more pattern pieces, so I had the sleeveless pattern pieces for the straight up and down dress, and I had the sleeved pattern pieces for the bodycon dress, but I wanted to do the loose version. So anyway, I kind of ended up doing a mishmash of the 2 pattern pieces and traced them off again because I didn't want to waste paper by printing all the pieces out if I didn't need to. But what I did a size 6 on the top, like on the shoulders and like chest, and then I graded down to a size 4 after the waist because I knew that from my green version of the dress that it was quite big on the bottom half for me. And I also lengthened it by 2 centimetres at the waist because I'm very long-waisted. The outcome, do you know, this is one of those funny ones because when I first made it and tried it on, I was actually a bit disappointed because I'm just so silly. I don't always really think through what the differences in different fabrics will be like in the end garment. So firstly, I'm pretty sure I did use this fabric the correct way around, but you will see that my ribbing is going horizontal. And I think really I would have wanted it going vertical, but I just didn't even think of it. I just matched up the 2 selvages, as you normally do when you're cutting. And actually I think it has got, actually I don't think it has enough stretch for me to have done it the other way anyway. It's definitely got more stretch one way than the other. But anyway, that was one thing where I was like, oh, I really should have thought it through whether I could have had the ribs going vertically. And it's not quite stretchy enough to go over my head particularly comfortably. I can get it over my head, but I have to wrestle it over my head. And lastly, it is a little bit too small across here, and I'm just really annoyed at myself that I let that happen, because I knew that that was an issue from when I did my stretch velvet blue body conversion, because that whole dress is just too small for me, to be honest. And I did size up, but I should have done more. I should have gotten even more extreme, because this fabric is less stretchy than the stretch velvet. La 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 la. So anyway, it's a little bit snug across here. So I was a little bit disappointed when I first made it, especially as it's such like good, lovely, cozy, wintry fabric, and I'm really into the idea of wearing more purple. But then I put it on today to take a few photos that hopefully you will have seen flashing by here, and I really like it. The whole thing has turned out a little bit smaller than I'd hoped. Next time when I make it, I will make it much more oversized, so it's baggy, whereas this has ended up quite fitted, and I kind of was thinking, what am I going to wear it with? But I've put it on with a little black cord mini skirt that I made by completely hacking up the Tilly and the Buttons Delphine skirt, with a pair of black tights and a pair of over-the-knee boots. And I really like the look, and I'm now really excited to wear this jumper after all, this sort of jumper dress. I hacked the length right off because I originally made it like a midi length, and it just looked frumpy and it just didn't look good on me. I just don't have the right sort of figure to carry that off. I just looked like a complete up and down beanpole, but not in a good way. I don't think there is a good way to look like that actually, but anyway. So I shortened it to be like a mini length, but then it wasn't loose enough around my bum for that to be good. It was like tight on my bum, loose around my stomach. It was just a bit bizarre. So I put, I like unpicked the side seam to give like a side split, just to give a bit more room around my bum. And that does now mean that around the house I can just wear it over leggings, and like my bum will be covered and that'll be comfortable and fine. And when I go out and about, I can just put it over like that little mini black skirt, and I actually really like that you then get a little flash of the skirt underneath, and it's like a little bit of a layering feature. So in the end, I'm really pleased with it, and I'm hoping that despite it being a little bit tight across here, I'm hoping I'll still get lots of wear out of it. Fingers crossed. So the second thing that I made is, dun da da dun, almost identical to the thing I'm wearing on this side, but this is a Tilly and the Buttons Freya top. Now, will you believe that I've had the Tilly and the Buttons stretch book like basically since it came out, which is well over a year ago. No, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I've only just made something from it. Can you believe it? It's just been sat on my shelf. But I've known that I've wanted to make a Freya, and I'm so pleased with it. This fabric, so this is a bit of a sneak peek because this make is going to be my next blogger make for the Minerva Crafts blogger network. So, you know, head over to their blog if you want to see my previous post, which was on my Megan Nielsen Cottesloe swimsuit. So this fabric was also kind of gifted to me, this time from Minerva Crafts, in exchange for a blog post. And what I did with this one, let me tell you, the fabric is a single cotton jersey, and it's quite a pricey one. Like, it's I think about £15 a metre on the website, so it was really generous of them to gift it to me, but it is such lovely quality. Like, it's quite a sturdy single cotton jersey, so it's thin enough to be like breathable because it's cotton, and like I can't get my words out. It's thin enough to be like an underneath layer, like a t-shirt rather than a jumper, but it's like sturdy, and it's going to keep me warm in the winter. And I'm a really big fan of the sort of small collar on the neck. I think it looks really nice, and I'm just really pleased with the fit of it. I can't remember if I did any adjustments. Let me just quickly check and tell you. So I did a size 3, and in terms of alterations, I was again a little bit concerned about it being too small across my shoulders because I'm quite broad here. So I basically used a small, like the smallest seam allowance that I could get away with to attach the sleeves, which just gave me that extra little like centimetre or so on each side, which worked really well, so it fits me well on my shoulders. I took a little bit out underneath the underarm because it was a little bit big there, and took a little bit off like here on the sleeves to just bring the sleeves in a little bit tighter. And I took 2.5 centimetres off the length of the sleeves because they were going to be too long for me otherwise. This is just going to be such a good basic, like I'm going to wear this at least once a week to work with like a smart skirt and maybe a blazer over the top. And I already want to order so much more of this fabric. It's so frustrating. They've got loads of it on the website in different colours, like loads of different colours, but a lot of it's out of stock. So I'm just waiting for it all to come back in stock. And then I'm going to order loads more of this stuff because I need more of these in my life. Also, I'm very proud of myself because I did overlocking. Like me and my overlocker have had a little bit of a love-hate relationship, and I haven't really used it that much because I just don't. I need to do maybe the Stitch Sisters online class to learn how to use it properly. But I was too lazy to change it to black thread. I've got black and white thread, so it's white overlocking. But all my seams are nice and neat. So yeah, really pleased with that one. Can't wait to make another one. And actually, I really couldn't wait to make another one because my third and final make is this that I'm wearing now, and it is also a Tilly and the Buttons Freya. But the fabric of this is very different. I mean, same colour. You can tell that I like to stick to my colour palette, can't you? But I really like this colour. I like to think that it brings out the blue in my eyes, and I just think it suits my complexion. But again, same alterations as this one, although I didn't end up shortening the sleeves this time. I'm not really sure why, because for both of them the sleeves have ended up fine. Actually no, I did, that's a lie. So yeah, I made all the same like pattern adjustments, but with this one I wanted to make the neckband a little bit taller because I wanted this one to be a little bit even more like, I wanted this one to be more like a jumper because this is like a ribbed knit, like a really cozy ribbed knit fabric. So I added, how much did I add? Let me check. I added 3 centimetres to like the neckband pattern piece in the middle, so that equates to like 1.5 centimetres when it's actually folded over and on. But this fabric I cannot recommend enough. This is from myfabrics.co.uk. I did buy this one myself, this one wasn't a gift. And it is their Mottled Rib Knit 8. This is the petrol colour, and they've got 4 or 5 other colours. They've got like a mustard and a sort of mauvey, purpley lilac colour, a grey, I think. I can't remember what else. But it's £8.95 a metre. It's 80% polyester, 15% viscose and 5% spandex. It's 145 centimetres wide, so I realised that I had bought a metre and a half of this, but I could actually have squeezed it out of 1 metre because I was able to line up all 3 pattern pieces. Obviously I had to fold the fabric the right way, but the front piece, the back piece and the arms I could fit all laid out next to each other on the pattern, on the fabric, so definitely could have gotten away with a little bit less fabric. But it's just so soft. Like I actually can't believe that it's 80% polyester because it's just so lovely and snuggly, and it's a nice sort of, it's stretchy, but it's kind of like a loose stretchy, does that make sense? Like it's not, it's just like comfortable, and it moves really well when you're wearing it, and I don't feel at all constricted. I think it like really fits really well on me, and I just can't wait to make more. I actually am keeping my eye out for some really thick, like chunky knit fabric to make more of like a proper thick jumper, like maybe something a bit oversized. But yeah, in the process of making these 3 garments, I realised I've actually got 4 patterns for like a roll neck, long sleeved top / jumper. So I've got the named Paula roll neck t-shirt, I've got the True Bias Nikko top and dress, I've got the Tilly and the Buttons Freya. What's the 4th one I've got? Oh yeah, and the Nina Lee South Bank. So yeah, between those, I just basically want to make those 4 patterns on repeat for the rest of the winter and just have loads of cosy jumpers and tops to wear. So I think I've rambled on quite enough there on my makes. Do let me know what you think of them in the comments below, and if you've ever made these patterns and which one your favourite like snuggly roll neck pattern is. But next I've got something really exciting to tell you about. Now I was approached this week on Instagram by the lovely Kate from In a Haystack. So on Instagram it's at In a Haystack. And I hadn't heard about her or her business before, but what In a Haystack is like a monthly online subscription service for sewists, and it's a digital subscription. So I've obviously heard about other subscription services for sewing where you get like a box where you get trimmings and haberdashery and a piece of fabric or whatever, but I love the fact that this In a Haystack one is digital. The reason being is that I live in a small actually it's a good sized 1-bed flat, but it's a 1-bed flat nonetheless in London. And so storage space is at a premium. My husband and I both, although we're naturally hoarders, we really try and keep our stuff down to a minimum because we don't like clutter. I like everything to be organised. I like to know what everything is. I'm a huge fan of the Marie Kondo method and have all my drawers organised in that way. And I just don't want to accumulate stuff that I don't necessarily want or need. I love the idea of like physical subscription packs for sewing, but there's always that risk that you're going to get sent something that actually you don't really want or need, and it ends up just taking up space in your house or in your sewing room or in your whatever, and then it's kind of wasted if you don't use it. But in a Haystack is digital, so the only thing it's going to do is take up space on your computer memory or whatever. Like, it's not a big deal in terms of physical things, and obviously, you know, sending like an email is not like damaging to the environment or whatever in the way that physical things are. So I just really like the whole concept of it being digital. But let me tell you a bit more about it. So for £10 a month you get the digital pack, and each digital pack comes with a PDF pattern from an independent designer and a discount code for an independent fabric shop. So if you are planning on signing up, feel free to not listen to this because I'm going to tell you what was in this month's pack, and I don't want to like get in trouble for spoiling it for anybody who's looking forward to a surprise. But I'm going to hopefully try and film my screen and show you what it looks like, or little snippets of what it looks like. But it's kind of like a magazine in an email. Oh, sorry, that was my computer making noises. So you open it up and it's got like a summary of sort of what's in this month's pack. So in this month you get the Alice & Co Intrepid boiler suit pattern, which I am so excited about. It's the kind of pattern I never would have chosen to make myself, like to buy, just because it's such a striking sort of fashion piece, and I think I'd just be a bit nervous to make something so striking, something that's quite a statement. But oh my goodness, I'm definitely have to try and make this one because I really like it. And this morning Nina Lee posted on her Instagram stories, and she's made the most amazing pink needle cord version of this. Oh my gosh, guys. So yeah, I love that it's now given me access to a PDF pattern that I wouldn't normally have probably bought myself. You also get a discount for First for Fabrics, which is a fabric shop that I've never bought from online, but I've heard of it because Sewn on the Tyne, Tamlin, she often mentions them because I think that this is her like local fabric shop. So the discount is 20% off everything until the end of the month. Like, that's major, and I've already spotted a few things on the website that I'm tempted by because I think I want to make something. I unfortunately didn't manage to get a ticket for the new Craft House Christmas party. Well, actually I didn't even try in the end because I was gutted and realised it's on the same date as something I already have plans that day, so gutted that I won't be at the new Craft House Christmas party. But I still am inspired to make something a little bit Christmassy, and I've seen some delicious velvets on the First for Fabrics website, so I might be making a purchase. And then this month you also get another discount code for A Tiny Stitch. So A Tiny Stitch is one of the 3 lovely ladies behind Pattern Pals. I think she does quite a lot of the sample sewing for Sew Over It, and there's 25% off her embroidery patterns, so that's awesome. But put all that aside, guys, this is basically like a sewing magazine in an email, like a mini sewing magazine. So what Kate does is she goes through and she's written all this really interesting stuff about sort of the theme of this month's pack, which I guess is embroidery. So there's a load of interesting information about like artists and textile designers and things who've been inspired by embroidery. So there's some really like amazing links to some awesome Instagram accounts, so some amazing ways to find some new awesome creative sewing type people to follow. It also does a little summary of any sewing challenges that are going on this month, which is great because these days there seem to be so many I can't keep up at all, so that's great to have a summary of what's going on in case you want to follow along or join in with anything. And there are some makes, so there's some Instagram pictures from some people who've made things from like the patterns in the previous month's packs, and with the sort of freebies that you get, or the things that are part of the pack, so the pattern and the discount codes, etc., it's not just here's the code. There's, like, for the boiler suit, the Intrepid Boiler Suit by Alice & Co. Patterns, there's an interview with Alice and Lilia, the people behind the pattern. So, like, it's just so lovely to have an interview to find out a bit more about the people behind these products or these fabric shops that you now have access to. And the same with everything. It's like got an interview or a little summary of information. I just think it's great. When I received it from Kate, I sat down on my sofa with a cup of hot water because I'm strange and I don't drink tea or coffee. And I just got cosy and just sat and had a really lovely read through. It's just brilliant. Oh, and at the very end, it's got some inspiration for the Intrepid Boiler Suits. It's got some, like, Instagram, points you to some Instagram accounts for people who've made it, and I just think it's lovely. So yeah, I'll put all the links below, but the Instagram account is in a haystack, and that's what the website is too. So yeah, go check it out and see if it's something you'd like to subscribe to. And a big, big thank you to Kate for gifting me this month's pack. I just think it's brilliant. So thank you so much. Well, there we go. I think I've blabbered on quite enough. I don't know how I managed to make 3 makes in one review quite such a long chatty thing, but there we go. I hope you've enjoyed me chatting on. Let me know in the comments if you've got any feedback for me. I've been a bit bad with comments recently, but I'm really trying, and I'm going to sort of backtrack and go back and reply to people. So I do really appreciate your comments, and I always read them, just sometimes I run out of time to reply. But thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll put all my links for Instagram and everything else down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!